Okay, second video of the airplane assignment. If you got to this point, you're doing pretty good, but our plane doesn't look so good. Needs a little help, so in the second video we're going to make some improvements to it to make it look more like an airplane and learn a couple more things. So first thing we're going to do to make it look more like an airplane is fix the wings. The wings are looking pretty terrible. So I'm actually going to bring it in about to where the grid ends, just so I can just so I know that they're about the same size. I don't see the grid on this. That's not good. This view. I'm going to switch my view to perspective, then I can see the grid better. There we go. And then I'll bring these wings in a little bit. They're a little bit too big, maybe to that line right there. And I'll move this one in. There's lots of tricks in editing. Of course, I'm not going to show you, 3D graphics modeling. Lots of tricks. I'm not going to show you all of them right now, but one is to cut the plane in half, and whatever you do, apply the mirroring tool, and whatever you do to one side, it does to the other. And so that obviously would help, but we are just practicing here, so we're going to do it all by hand. Alright, the wings. So I'm going to take this one first. And in fact, I can cheat on this one a little bit by holding down Shift and grabbing the other face. Okay, so I've got the two faces. Make sure you're in face select mode. And oh, I don't actually want that. Let me redo that. So hit A to deselect. I'm going to get the vertices here. I'm going to get the front ones. And so hit B to border select and click and drag. Or you can right click and hold down Shift and click on the other one. Go to the other side. Hit B and select those two as well. And you don't have to hold down Shift if you're doing the border select. It just keeps selecting stuff. Okay, so I've got those two selected. Now I'm going to use the translate tool, which is now in the middle of those two that I've selected. If you're not on the translate tool, click the translate tool. And we're going to move those wings back. Okay, that's looking a little better already. Let's get the border tool, B, and select all of those, and go to the other side, B, and select all of those. And let's move it back just a little bit. View 7, and let's pull those back just a little bit like that. Okay, that's looking a little better now already. Okay, let's do that to this, that same thing to the tail wings. So if I hit A to deselect, B to border select, go over to the other side, B to border select. I'm going to grab both of those and pull those back as well. Okay, there we go. Great. Maybe a little bit more, I don't know. And might want to pull the whole thing back like we did the others. It doesn't really matter. That's good. Okay, and the last one, the fin on top. So I'm going to get A to deselect, B to border select. If I don't hit A to deselect, I'm gonna you'll see what happens. It's gonna mess it up. So it's gonna take these wings that we had selected before and this one and move it all. I just want that selected. So you got to be careful what you have selected. Okay, so there we go. That's a little bit better. Looking better already. Okay, now a couple improvements here. First of all, the nose cone is awful. So let's change that. Let me get up here. Okay, hit 3 to go directly to the side. That'll make it kind of nice. Okay, we're going to do some more edge loops. So Control R. Now, if you put the purple line over this cone, and what I did was just scroll up slightly with the scroll wheel. Before I clicked on it, I scrolled. And I'm going to do that 3 times is good. We could do it a lot, but then that'd be a lot of work. It'd look better, but it'd be a lot of work. So I'm going to put 3 edge loops, and then click. And then click again to set them there. Okay. So now what am I going to do with all these edge loops? I need to curve them slightly to make this cone less harsh curve or angle. Okay, so on my side view, still 3. Oh, I'm going to go back to ortho view, so 5. That's going to make it a little easier. Okay, what we need to do is deselect everything, A, and then border select. I'm going to grab from, one other thing, hit escape. Let's go into wireframe mode. It's going to make it a little easier to select everything. So wireframe mode Z. When we're in my wireframe mode, I can see through it to the other side. And if I select, One thing about 3D is whatever I select, whatever I'm viewing, that's all that's going to select. So if I do the border select, watch, I'll show you. I select all that, but I go to the other side, look, it's not selected because I couldn't see it. Okay, so if I do wireframe mode and then do it, border select B, then it's going to select the whole thing because it's looking right through it. Okay, now I've got all that selected, and I'm going to let me see, scale. Okay, I'm going to scale it up a little bit, and then hit A, border select, and get the the other 3 or 2 loop cuts, and scale. Okay, we're just scaling up slightly. Hit A, border select, scale S, and there we go. There's just a slight curve. Hit A. Let's do this last cone because it's sticking out a little too far. Let's bring it in, and it's kind of poking out. I'm going to scale that down even further to a point. Okay, awesome. That's about the same. Okay, there we go. So that's a little more curved. In fact, I didn't do the best job on that. Let's fix that. There we go. Okay, a better curve, gradual. And it takes a little while to get used to that and figure out how to do that and do it quickly. So make it a little bit more curved there. In fact, we could bring this whole thing up. Whoops, border select, because that's a pretty harsh curve right there. So I'm just using the translate tool after I select everything and just pulling it out to give me a little more space there, a little less harsh curve. In fact, I could do that to all of them, but I won't. Okay, good. A gradual curve looks more like an airplane than before. More like an airplane, less like a pencil. Okay, Z to come out of wireframe mode. Okay, we're getting there. A couple more things is all. In fact, we could do as many things as we wanted, of course, make it look like an actual airplane, but we're just making a basic airplane. So I'm going to go to the tail. Okay, still looks like a missile because this thing is so big. Airplanes don't have that right there. So I'm going to get my face select and right click on it. I'm going to extrude this to get a little bigger cap now. Oh, okay, it's forcing me on the Z-axis, which is what I want. Okay, so I'm gonna extrude that and bring it out a little bit past the tail wings. You know what? I'm gonna undo that. First, I'm gonna make this smaller right here because it's okay. Yeah. So undo that. Let's scale this first. So hit S and scale it down a little bit because the airplane always comes down to a smaller point right there, and it usually is up near the top. So just use the translate tool and move that up just like that. That's a lot better. Okay, good. And now I'll extrude and bring it out just a little bit past those fins. This is getting pretty nitpicky. And then I'm even going to scale it because if I go to my side view, it doesn't come straight out. It kind of continues to shrink near the end. So I'm going to scale it, S, shrink it down a bit, and use the translate, bring it up like that. There we go. Okay, that looks much better. There's an issue with my tail wings. Maybe they need to come back as well. But so airplane's looking a lot better. I think we're going to do one other thing to it to make it look even better. Okay, I can always select this face and pull it up. I can also rotate it if I'm on my direct side view, Control 3 or 3, and rotate R, and I'll rotate that wing the same direction as my plane is going, which is just an added touch. I don't even know if planes, maybe that's not how they work, but looks better. Okay, so rotate it and it curves the same direction as the plane is going. Cool. Okay, and that's our airplane. Pretty basic. If you go back out to object mode We can even smooth it out, a little trick here, and it looks more like an airplane. So there we go. Learned a few things, made a little airplane.